The average American family wastes over $2,500 every single year on groceries they absolutely do not need. Let that number really sink in for a moment. $2,500. That's enough money for a fantastic vacation to a warm, sunny destination. You could cover several months of your rent with that, or you could invest that money into a savings account and actually watch it grow. Instead, that money flows directly into the pockets of major grocery chains and food manufacturers. These corporations have spent decades perfecting the science of separating you from your hard-earned cash. What's most alarming is that the majority of people have absolutely no clue this is even happening to them. You walk down the supermarket aisles, believing you're making savvy decisions, comparing prices, and scanning labels for the best deal. But the entire time, you are unknowingly falling into carefully laid traps, designed by entire teams of psychologists and marketing experts. Today, we are going to expose 12 grocery products that carry markups reaching as high as 4,000%. Some of these items are probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. Others are likely on your shopping list for this week, or perhaps they're already stocked in your pantry. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which products are emptying your bank account, why stores promote them so aggressively, the hidden health consequences nobody talks about, and what smart consumers are buying instead. But here's how this usually plays out. Most people will watch this video, nod their heads in agreement with everything said, and maybe even share it with a friend. And then, they will change absolutely nothing about their shopping habits. This weekend, they will go to the exact same stores and purchase the exact same product. The real question is, are you going to be one of them? Or will you finally seize control of your grocery spending and start making decisions that genuinely benefit your health and your wallet? Let's dive in. We're kicking things off with number 12 on our list. And this particular product truly shocked me when I started doing a deep dive into the grocery industry. The Laughing Cow cheese wedges. This product looks so innocent sitting there in the dairy aisle, right next to the real blocks of cheese. You know the ones, those little foil-wrapped triangles or the plastic tubs of creamy cheese spread that glide so effortlessly onto a piece of bread or a cracker. Millions of people put this on their sandwiches every single day, without a second thought about what they're actually consuming. Parents regularly pack these into their children's lunchboxes, believing they are providing essential calcium and protein for their growing bodies. But here is what you are actually purchasing when you pick up that iconic round box. You're buying a highly processed product where actual cheese makes up less than half of the contents. And sometimes, depending on the specific variety, it's significantly less than half. The rest of the package contains water, various emulsifiers to create that smooth consistency, and stabilizers to extend the shelf life far beyond what any natural cheese could ever achieve. There are also various salts included, which help bind everything together into a uniform mass. When you actually take a moment to read the ingredients list on a package of this processed cheese, you will find substances like polyphosphates. Specifically, you'll see an additive listed as E452. In food labeling, these compounds are added because they effectively bind water and create that unnaturally smooth, spreadable texture that you simply can't achieve with real, natural cheese. The problem is that phosphates, when consumed in large quantities, can interfere with your body's absorption of crucial minerals like calcium and can place an additional burden on your kidneys. This same organ, responsible for filtering your blood, has to work overtime just to process these synthetic additives. The sodium content is another major issue that most people overlook. A single serving of processed cheese can contain 30% of your daily recommended intake of salt. Think about that for a moment. One slice of cheese on a sandwich, and you've already consumed nearly 1/3 of all the salt you should have in an entire day. In a nation where hypertension already affects a huge percentage of adults and continues to rise every single year, adding this much hidden sodium through, of all things, cheese, is a recipe for cardiovascular problems down the road. And on top of that, you're paying more for this nutritional disaster. A pack of processed cheese like Kraft singles typically costs around $4 to $6, depending on the package size and specific variety. For that same amount of money, you could buy a block of real, natural cheese from a local dairy or even a quality brand from the supermarket, one that provides real calcium your body can actually absorb effectively. It offers wholesome protein for muscle maintenance and repair and contains none of the chemical additives that your kidneys have to filter out. Natural cheese doesn't need emulsifiers or stabilizers because it already has a texture and structure that comes from proper aging and traditional production methods people have used for thousands of years. The smart move here is simple, and it requires zero sacrifice in eating pleasure. Just buy real cheese. If you want something spreadable for convenience, pick up some fresh cottage cheese or soft goat cheese. You can make your own savory cheese spread from natural ingredients in about 5 minutes. Your body will process the food properly, and your wallet will stretch further because real cheese is far more satisfying per serving. Moving on to number 11, and this one hits differently because it's so intensely marketed to families and children as a healthy snack choice. Yoplait fruit yogurt. You know the ones? Those little colorful cups with beautiful pictures of strawberries, peaches, and blueberries right on the label. Parents buy them by the dozen, thinking they're giving their kids a wholesome snack packed with real fruit and beneficial probiotics for digestive health. The reality is that these yogurts contain up to 15 grams of added sugar per 100 grams of product. Let me put that into perspective for you. That's the equivalent of several heaping teaspoons of pure white sugar dumped into one tiny cup of yogurt. The fruit content, which the packaging makes such a big promotional deal about, typically only makes up a mere 5 to 10% of what's actually inside the container. The rest of that fruity taste, the part that makes kids devour them with such enthusiasm, comes from artificial flavors designed in labs, added syrups derived from corn and other cheap sources, and sometimes colorants like carmine. Also known as cochineal extract, it can trigger allergic reactions in sensitive individuals and is actually sourced from crushed insects. Let's talk about what consuming that much added sugar does to your body, especially a child's developing system. When you eat 15 grams of sugar in a few quick bites, your blood glucose level skyrockets within minutes. Your pancreas detects this sweet tidal wave and pumps out insulin to handle the emergency. The insulin does its job, and your blood sugar comes crashing back down. Now you feel hungry, tired, irritable, and you're reaching for another snack to fix the energy slump. This cycle, repeated daily with products like fruit-flavored yogurt, creates a direct metabolic pathway to weight gain, all-day energy problems, and eventually, type 2 diabetes. Children raised on these products develop a taste preference calibrated to extreme sweetness and have significant difficulty enjoying less processed foods later in life. The price seems reasonable, maybe $1 or $2 for a single container, which is part of what makes these yogurts so tempting for budget-conscious parents trying to keep their kids happy. But when you calculate the cost per gram of actual nutritional value, considering what your body can actually use productively, you're paying an absurd premium for sweetened water with a dash of dairy and some bacterial cultures that may or may not have survived the manufacturing and storage process. Smart consumers buy plain, natural yogurt and add their own fresh fruit at home. A large container of plain Greek yogurt costs about the same as a multi-pack of those single-serving fruit cups. It lasts much longer in the fridge, contains genuinely live probiotics that survive because they haven't been killed by heat treatment, and allows you to control exactly how much sweetness goes into each serving. Fresh berries or sliced bananas add real vitamins and actual fiber, instead of concentrated fruit syrups that have been stripped of everything beneficial found in whole fruits. Number 10 takes us to the breakfast and snack aisle, and this product has been fooling health-conscious consumers for years with its incredibly effective marketing. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Bars. The branding here is truly brilliant from a business perspective. Words like real fruit and whole grains printed right on the package in bold letters. Active, athletic-looking people are featured prominently in the commercials. The promise of sustained energy for your busy, modern lifestyle. Everything about the presentation screams health, vitality, and smart choices. What you're actually getting when you unwrap that bar is a sugar bomb disguised in clever marketing clothes. A single bar can contain up to 20 grams of sugar, which is half of what most major health organizations recommend as the maximum for an entire day. Half of your daily sugar limit in one small snack that you finish in just 2 minutes. The binding agent holding those pieces of grain together is high fructose corn syrup, one of the most highly processed forms of sugar available anywhere. It's created by breaking down cornstarch with industrial enzymes. The oil used in production is often palm oil, which carries its own set of health problems related to its saturated fat content, its impact on cholesterol, and its inflammatory effects throughout the body. The real grains that the marketing emphasizes are mostly refined wheat flour, which means the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that would make whole grains genuinely beneficial have been stripped away during industrial process. What's left after this refining process are essentially empty carbohydrates that your body converts into sugar almost instantly. You're basically eating a candy bar wearing a fitness costume and given a healthy-sounding name. These bars sell for $1 to $2 a piece, positioning them as a quick, affordable snack for people on the go. But think about what that money could actually buy if you spent it more wisely. A large container of whole rolled oats costs just a few dollars and is enough for dozens of servings of real oatmeal, full of genuine fiber that keeps you full for hours and stabilizes your blood sugar all morning. A handful of raw nuts and a piece of fresh fruit provide long-lasting energy without the blood sugar roller coaster that processed snacks create. Making your own granola bars at home takes maybe 20 minutes of prep time over the weekend and gives you complete control over every single ingredient, including the exact amount of sweetness. This lesson extends far beyond just this one product. Any food item with fitness, health, or natural displayed prominently on its packaging deserves extra scrutiny before you buy it. Companies know that health-conscious consumers will pay a premium for products that seem to align with their values and health goals. That one word on the package can be worth millions of dollars in additional sales per year, completely regardless of what's actually inside. Number 9 is something millions of people consume every single day, not realizing the true financial and physical cost that builds up over time. Red Bull energy drinks. That iconic, slim, silver and blue can with the logo of 2 charging bulls has become a global symbol of modern hustle culture, of pushing through fatigue to get things done, no matter what. The contents of that iconic can are basically caffeine, an amino acid called taurine, a blast of B vitamins in quantities your body probably doesn't need to supplement, and a significant dose of sugar. All of it is dissolved in carbonated water. A standard can packs about 27 grams of sugar and a caffeine jolt roughly equivalent to 3 cups of strong coffee, concentrated into just a few quick gulps. Based on industry analysis of similar products, the production cost of a Red Bull is estimated to be around 25 cents a can, and that includes the aluminum container and the filling process. Yet the retail price can be anywhere from $3 to $5, depending on where you buy it. That's a markup approaching 900% for what is essentially flavored water with stimulants and a sprinkle of vitamins. Beyond the financial absurdity, the regular consumption of energy drinks creates documented health risks that compound over time. The combination of high caffeine levels and rapid sugar absorption puts significant stress on your cardiovascular system with every single can you drink. Peer-reviewed scientific studies have linked excessive energy drink consumption to heart arrhythmias, chronic anxiety disorders, and sleep disturbances that can linger for days after consumption as your body struggles to return to its baseline. The taurine content adds an extra burden on your kidneys, which have to filter out this compound, even though your body is fully capable of producing adequate amounts naturally without any supplementation. The sugar content in a single can alone exceeds the daily recommended limits set by the World Health Organization, which suggests no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for optimal health. One can of Red Bull blows past that limit before you've even had lunch, and many regular consumers drink several cans throughout the day. Here's what smart people do when they need an energy boost. Homemade cold brew coffee costs maybe 30 cents a serving and delivers pure caffeine without the sugar crash and mystery additives. Green tea offers a gentle, sustained energy lift with powerful antioxidant benefits and a fraction of the caffeine for those who are sensitive. And the most radical solution of all, the one the energy drink industry would rather you never consider, is actually getting enough sleep so your body doesn't require artificial chemical stimulation just to function through a normal workday. If you're spending, let's say, $4 on an energy drink every single workday, that habit adds up to over $1,000 a year on what is basically flavored, caffeinated water. For that exact same money, you could pay for a high-quality, year-long gym membership that would give you real, sustainable energy by improving your cardiovascular fitness, not a temporary chemical jolt followed by an inevitable crash. We're on to number 8, and this next category traps a ton of people who genuinely believe they're making healthy choices for themselves and their families. Minute Maid fruit juice. Those colorful cartons and bottles promising 100% fruit, essential vitamins, and natural goodness straight from the orchard. Fruit is healthy, so fruit juice must be healthy too, right? That logic seems perfectly sound until you understand the biological reality of what happens when you process a whole fruit into a liquid. A single glass of Minute Maid juice contains up to 25 grams of sugar. Yes, that sugar technically comes from fruit and is considered natural, but once it's been extracted from the fiber matrix of the whole fruit and concentrated, your body processes it almost identically to refined table sugar from a metabolic standpoint. The fiber, which would normally slow down sugar absorption when you eat a real apple or orange, is completely absent in the juice. So when you drink a glass of apple juice, your bloodstream gets flooded with fructose just as quickly as if you'd swallowed a few spoonfuls of white sugar straight from the bag. Kids are especially vulnerable here because juice has been successfully marketed as a healthy alternative to soda for decades. Many kids drink several glasses of juice a day, sometimes with every meal, not realizing they're consuming more sugar than their developing bodies can properly handle. Pediatric dentists report that fruit juice is one of the leading causes of childhood cavities, as the combination of fruit acid and sugar creates an aggressive attack on tooth enamel with every single sip. The vitamins that juice marketing emphasizes are real and actually present in the product, but they come packaged with so much concentrated sugar that the overall nutritional trade-off is objectively terrible. You would be far better off for your health to take a basic multivitamin supplement and drink plain water than to get those same vitamins wrapped in fiber-free, concentrated fruit sugar. A carton of Minute Maid juice costs between $4 and $5 and disappears quickly when shared by a family over a few days. For that same amount of money, you could buy several pounds of real, fresh fruit, which provides the same vitamins, the beneficial fiber that slows sugar absorption, water content for hydration, and the satisfaction that comes from actually chewing your food. An apple eaten whole actually fills you up. Apple juice just makes you want another glass because your satiety signals were never triggered. Coming in at number 7 is a staple in so many households for making convenient sandwiches. And what I'm about to explain might permanently change how you shop at the deli counter. Oscar Mayer smoked ham. Sliced for convenience, attractively packaged with pictures of traditional smokehouses, ready to be slapped on a sandwich with zero effort or prep time. The problem is that convenience comes with some serious health baggage that most consumers are completely unaware of when they make their purchase. Processed meats, like the sliced ham from brands such as Oscar Mayer or Hillshire Farm, contain preservatives called nitrites, specifically an additive listed as E250 on ingredient labels. Nitrites serve important functions in processed meat, preventing the dangerous growth of bacteria during the long storage periods these products require, and giving the meat that attractive pink color consumers have come to expect. No one wants to buy gray-looking ham after all. The problem is, nitrites transform into compounds called nitrosamines inside your digestive system when they react with proteins during digestion. And nitrosamines are classified as probable human carcinogens by multiple international health organizations. The World Health Organization has officially classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, the very same category as smoking tobacco and asbestos exposure, meaning there is sufficient scientific evidence that regular consumption increases the risk of cancer. Beyond the headline-grabbing cancer concerns, processed ham is absolutely loaded with sodium, used for both preservation and flavor enhancement. Just a few slices of deli ham can contain a significant portion of your entire daily salt limit, contributing to high blood pressure over time. Combine that with the saturated fat content and the various binders and mystery ingredients that go into forming processed meat products into those uniform slices, and you have a food that delivers protein at the cost of a significant health detriment that most consumers never even consider. The price, around $5 to $8 per package, might seem competitive with fresh, unprocessed meat. It might even feel like a good deal for the convenience, but you're paying for industrial processing that actually makes the product measurably worse for your health. A fresh chicken or turkey breast costs about the same, or even less, per pound, contains more bioavailable protein ounce for ounce, has zero preservatives or nitrites, and doesn't come with warning classifications from international health organizations. The smart alternative requires a small investment of time that pays off in multiples. Roast a whole chicken or a turkey breast on a Sunday afternoon. Slice the meat yourself once it has cooled, and store portions for sandwiches all week long. You get the same convenience after that initial 1-hour prep, a vastly superior nutritional profile, no carcinogenic preservatives, and you know exactly what went into your food because you prepared it yourself in your own kitchen. Number 6 is aggressively marketed as a healthier alternative to a classic product that has been on family tables for generations. But the reality is far more complicated than the commercials suggest. Country Crock Light. The low-fat label makes it seem like the obvious, smarter choice for anyone watching their weight or concerned about cardiovascular health. Butter has earned a bad reputation over decades of dietary advice focused on saturated fats. So switching to a light spread feels like a genuine step toward better wellness. The only problem is, manufacturing margarine involves taking liquid vegetable oils and processing them with hydrogen gas under high pressure to create a solid fat that spreads like butter at room temperature. This industrial process, known as hydrogenation, creates artificial fat structures that your body never evolved to process properly, simply because they didn't exist in the human diet until modern chemical engineering made them possible. While regulations have significantly reduced the trans fat content in modern spreads compared to earlier decades, the product still contains various emulsifiers, stabilizers, and chemical additives required to achieve the right consistency and extended shelf life that commercial products demand. The light version is actually more problematic than the regular kind, because removing fat means manufacturers have to add something else to maintain the expected volume and creamy texture. That something else is usually water, whipped in air, and additional chemical emulsifiers. So you're paying for a product that is largely water and air, spreading it thinly on your toast, and patting yourself on the back for a healthy choice. A tub of spread typically costs around $3 to $5, which seems like a reasonable value compared to high-quality, grass-fed butter. But real butter contains fat-soluble vitamins A and K, conjugated linoleic acid with documented health benefits, and other beneficial compounds that a spread simply cannot replicate. Regardless of the health claims printed on the label, if you truly want to reduce your total fat intake, the honest solution is to simply use less butter, not to switch to a processed chemical substitute. We're at the halfway point, and number 5 will surprise many people who consider themselves educated about healthy eating. Sun-made dried fruits. Those attractive pouches of dried apricots, cranberries, mango slices, and trail mixes look like such a wholesome, natural snack. Dried fruit is just regular fruit with the water removed through dehydration, right? How problematic can something so simple be? The issue lies in what's added during commercial drying processes to make these products shelf-stable and visually attractive to shoppers. Many dried fruits, especially those brightly colored varieties that look the most appealing on store shelves, contain sulfur dioxide, listed as E220 on the ingredients list. This preservative maintains the vibrant colors consumers expect and significantly extends shelf life. However, sulfites can trigger allergic reactions, respiratory issues, and asthma attacks in sensitive individuals. Then there's the rarely discussed problem of added sugar. Dried cranberries are naturally quite tart and almost unpleasant to eat raw, so manufacturers generously coat them in sugar to make them palatable. Dried mango often gets a sugar dusting or a syrup treatment for similar reasons. By the time these dried fruits reach your snack bowl, they contain added sugars approaching candy-level amounts, all while effectively maintaining their healthy, natural fruit image. Caloric density creates another trap that catches even careful eaters. Because the water has been completely removed, dried fruits pack a huge number of calories into deceptively small volumes. Eating a casual handful of dried apricots is calorically equivalent to eating several whole, fresh apricots. But your stomach doesn't register the same fullness because the volume is so compressed. Products from brands like Sunsweet can cost anywhere from $2 to $4 a bag, which is a relatively small price for a large amount of concentrated sugar and chemically preserved fruit. Fresh fruits bought in season often cost the same or less per serving and provide natural hydration, intact fiber that actually fills you up, and nutrients that haven't been degraded by processing and extended storage periods. If you really want to keep dried fruit in your diet for convenience on trips or hikes, buying from the bulk bins at health food stores like Whole Foods or Sprouts often lets you get sulfite-free and no sugar-added options for similar or lower prices. Even better, invest in a simple food dehydrator for your kitchen and make your own dried fruit from whatever fresh produce is cheapest at the farmer's market each week. You control everything that goes into it, nothing artificial is added, and the cost per serving drops dramatically compared to commercial products. Number 4 is aimed at anyone who's ever tried to add flavor to their home cooking without the hassle of finding and working with fresh individual spices. McCormick Spice Mixes. These convenient little packets and jars offer pre-made blends for tacos, Italian pasta, Asian stir-fries, and just about any other cuisine you can imagine. The convenience factor is completely undeniable. You sprinkle some powder over your food, and suddenly it tastes like something recognizable. But what you're actually sprinkling over your food contains monosodium glutamate, often labeled as E621, along with various fillers like maltodextrin, anti-caking agents to keep the powder flowing freely, and in many cases, more salt by weight than actual spices. While MSG isn't inherently harmful to most people, it does stimulate the appetite and can lead to overeating. More importantly, you're paying premium spice prices for products that are largely salt and flavor enhancers, with only a moderate amount of actual spice content. The profit margin on these convenience blends is astonishing when you break down the real ingredients. A small packet selling for $1 to $2 might contain only 20% real spices by weight. The other 80% is sodium, cornstarch, and additives. If you were to buy those same individual spices separately, Even from a regular supermarket, you would get significantly more usable product for the exact same amount of money. Ethnic markets are the real game-changing secret for anyone who cooks regularly. Indian, Latin American, Asian, and Middle Eastern stores all sell spices in larger quantities for a fraction of the supermarket prices. Their products also tend to be much fresher because the communities they serve actually cook with these spices daily as part of their culinary traditions. This means faster inventory turnover and better quality for you. Another huge advantage is buying whole spices and grinding them yourself as needed. The volatile aromatic compounds responsible for flavor remain trapped and intact until the moment you're ready to use them. Ground spices begin to lose their potency immediately as those volatile oils constantly evaporate into the surrounding air. What you taste in a jar of year-old ground cumin is a pale shadow of what freshly ground whole cumin seeds can deliver. The difference in your finished dishes is instantly noticeable and transformative once you make the switch. Number 3 is where marketing reaches truly impressive levels of calculated deception aimed at vulnerable consumers. Nestle Nesquik breakfast cereal. The colorful, eye-catching boxes feature cartoon characters designed specifically to appeal to children. Prominent promises of added vitamins and minerals are strategically placed at a child's eye level in every grocery store. Parents buy this thinking they are providing a reasonably nutritious start to the school day. However, the ingredients list tells a completely different story. Sugar appears very near the top of the list, indicating it is one of the main ingredients by weight. A single serving contains enough sugar to drastically spike blood glucose levels and trigger the insulin response cycle we've talked about. The vitamins advertised on the box are added artificially and could be obtained far more effectively from real, whole foods or a basic daily supplement. The chocolatey flavor that makes Nesquik so appealing conditions young palates from an early age to expect sweetness at breakfast as the norm. Kids raised on sugary cereals often struggle to enjoy less processed foods later on because their taste expectations have been permanently calibrated to sugar bomb levels. This is a deliberate marketing strategy. At $4 to $6 a box for a product that disappears quickly in homes with children, the cost accumulates incredibly fast over months and years. Plain steel-cut oatmeal prepared with fresh fruit and maybe a small drizzle of real maple syrup costs a fraction of that per serving, provides sustained energy throughout the morning without the blood sugar crashes, and establishes healthy eating habits instead of a sugar dependency. Making the switch away from sweetened cereals can definitely be challenging at first, as kids will naturally resist changes to establish routines and familiar tastes. But the adjustment gradually becomes easier over 2 to 3 weeks, as their taste preferences slowly recalibrate to lower levels of sweetness. The change sticks. Starting with less sugary alternative cereals and gradually transitioning toward real, whole foods is a process that pays compounding dividends for your children's metabolic health throughout their entire lives. The short-term inconvenience of the transition is nothing compared to the long-term benefits of establishing healthy eating habits early. Number 2 is another product aimed at health-conscious consumers with some very clever positioning: flavored milk. You know the ones, those cartons of chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla milk that seem like a fun way to get kids to consume their dairy. The logic seems sound. Milk is healthy, so adding a flavor just makes it more appealing, right? The flavoring process, however, adds significant amounts of sugar, along with artificial or natural flavors and dyes to achieve those vibrant colors. A single serving can contain sugar levels comparable to sodas, hiding behind a wholesome, milky white image. The lactose naturally present in milk is already a sugar, so flavored milk delivers a double dose. Your pancreas has to process all of it, and repeated exposure to high sugar loads contributes to insulin resistance over time. Kids who regularly consume flavored milk as their main source of dairy are essentially training their metabolisms from an early age to handle constant sugar spikes, which is not a physiological skill that serves them well as they become adults and face rising rates of metabolic disease. The benefits of milk's calcium and protein are entirely real and valuable, but they come packaged with so much added sugar and flavored varieties that the overall nutritional trade-off becomes seriously questionable for regular, daily consumption. Plain milk or just plain water provides plenty of hydration without that significant metabolic burden. If your kids are really resistant to plain milk, a much better approach is to gradually and systematically reduce the amount of chocolate powder or flavored syrup you add yourself at home. This is far superior to buying commercially pre-flavored products where you have absolutely zero control over the sweetness levels and can't wean them off it over time. At around $2 to $3 per container, flavored milk costs noticeably more than an equivalent amount of plain milk, all for a product that is measurably worse for you nutritionally because of that sugar content. The added sugar essentially transforms what should be a wholesome food into a dessert drink that just happens to contain some protein and calcium on the side. And that brings us to our number one spot, the final boss of grocery store deceptions: plant-based beverages like Silk. This entire category has absolutely exploded as consumers look for dairy alternatives for health, environmental, or ethical reasons. The branding screams natural, plant-based, wholesome choices. But brands like Silk and their competitors often contain maltodextrin, a processed starch that can spike your blood sugar even faster than table sugar. They also include carrageenan, a thickener that has been linked in some studies to digestive inflammation. The actual nut or grain content can be shockingly low. Some almond milks contain as little as 2 to 3% actual almonds. The rest is just water, additives, and often more sugar. At $4 to $5 a carton, these plant-based milks cost significantly more than dairy milk, while delivering far less protein per serving and a disturbing array of questionable additives that your body has to process. The environmental arguments for choosing plant-based milks are valid and significant in certain contexts and production comparisons. But the health halo that these highly processed products consistently wear in their marketing and in consumer perception is often completely undeserved when you take an honest look at the actual contents and ingredient lists. Making your own plant-based milk at home is surprisingly simple and requires minimal specialized equipment. You just soak raw nuts like almonds or cashews, or alternatively, whole rolled oats, in water overnight to soften them up. Then you blend them thoroughly with fresh water and strain the mixture through a simple cheesecloth or a nut milk bag. This produces a genuinely fresh, plant-based milk with zero additives. The entire process takes maybe 10 minutes of active work in total, and it yields a vastly superior product with an actual, significant amount of the core ingredient, rather than an industrial, flavored water. The difference in taste is immediately noticeable, and most people who try homemade plant-based milk find it incredibly difficult to go back to the commercial versions. But if you genuinely prefer the store-bought options for convenience, reading the